Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Max Fisher here from Better Universe, and it's Motivation Monday. Today, I want to talk about how we can get our day started. I know we're already into this Monday. A lot of you guys might have woken up a little groggy, tired from the weekend, saying, fuck this job or whatever it might be, or geez, another Monday, all that stuff. Now, let's talk about how we can start the day and make us get ready for accomplishment and really move forward at a good pace so that we can set up our futures, our tomorrows when we wake up. We want to feel that vibrancy, that energy that we put in from the day before. But how do we get started? How do we start the week? How do we start the morning to get the most out of it? So I was listening to a couple different people today, Tim Ferriss being one. He is the man with the plan on anything optimizing your time, or like the 80-20 principle and stuff like that. Tony Robbins has got some good stuff. Les Brown's got some good stuff. So check those guys out. I mean, they always have words of advice that I take from, and I try and give to you guys in case you haven't heard it before. But if you want it from the source, or the so-called source, go and check those guys out. But how do we do this when the alarm goes off? Instead of hitting the snooze, how do we get out of bed? How do we make the most of this morning? Now, for a lot of us, that's the main problem right there, is that we hit the snooze. The one thing that is going to get you out of bed in the morning is actually getting out of bed. I know, it might not even make sense right now. You're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yes, take your phone, put it across the room, set the alarm, and you'll have no other choice but to get out of bed. You can't hit that snooze button from across the room, so you have to get out of bed, and that's really the biggest fight right there. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes I've woken up after a couple hours of sleep, or even sometimes 6 hours of sleep, and I'll snooze 15 minutes, hit it, get back up after that 15 minutes, but always keep the phone away from you in the bed, so you can get up and actually move. And because that's the biggest fight, is with your body, getting out of that bed. And might be a little tight, might be a little sore, groggy, all those things. You got to try and fight that, and putting your phone across the room, find a charger, plug it in over there, get it all set up, have your your motivational video ready to play. Alright, so the next thing, after you get out of bed, you hit your alarm, you said, you cursed me for telling you to put it across the room. What's the next thing? Well, a lot of people say, and the military was big on this, of course, is making your bed in the morning. Now, I understand it's not practical. For me, my old lady's sleeping in the bed. She's going to be very unfond of me if I start ripping the covers off and fluffing them up and throwing the pillows all in line. So that's not really going to work. But what's the idea behind making your bed in the morning? Why do people find that so important? Well, it's because it lays out the first task of the day, and it sets a footwork of accomplishment to move forward. You've literally completed the first task of your day, and then when you come back to it at night, there's the first thing that you accomplish. So it's like a repeating cycle of accomplishment, having that small task and moving forward and getting it done. And I can't remember the speaker's name, but he said the definition of a meaningful life is everything matters. Everything you do matters. And if you believe in the law of attraction and things like that, there's no gray area. And everything you do either propels you towards where you want to be or takes you away from that. So it kind of gives you that small sense of everything matters. You're doing that small small task, getting it done, getting it accomplished, moving forward to the next day, and when you're coming back to that at night, there it is, ready for you to receive you into a restful sleep and bring you into the new day. Now, like I said, some of us, not practical, we're not going to be able to do that, but that's the psychology behind it. You can make it brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth in the morning, and at night, hopefully you're coming back, brushing those teeth again. That you can link it up that way. Be creative, guys. Just know that it has to be a morning ritual that you're going to link back when you come back to it at night. And it doesn't have to be a big task, doesn't have to be anything magnificent. Making your bed isn't magnificent, guys. It isn't a big, huge task. I mean, it might take a little willpower to start in the morning, but it doesn't have to be big. It's those little wins that eventually add up. It's a building of that, those neural pathways in your brain for those disciplines and, that sense of accomplishment. All right, so moving on to the next one. You are in a certain brainwave state when you first wake up. Not going to say what it is. It's, within one of those spectrums. I'm not sure. I don't want to give you guys false information. So, but know that your subconscious brain runs at a different frequency than, when you're asleep, when you're half awake, when you just woke up, and like normal working day, high stress environments. There's all different brain wavelengths for those periods of the day, and your subconscious is most influential within the first 15 minutes of waking up. So one of the biggest things that a lot of successful people do is they listen to motivational videos, they listen to insightful words of wisdom, and they look into new ideas and other things of that nature, because your mind's impressionable at that moment. If you listen to a motivational video in the beginning of the day, it really kind of does change how you think about the day. It gives you it gives you a different vibrancy throughout the day, a different energy, a different mindset. You're not stuck into the old you. It kind of propels you into the new. And I think that's good. It's definitely a restructure of the brain at a more subtle level that you don't even really notice. But that's where the biggest effects are, and those subtle changes, those subtle restructures in your subconscious mind that you might not even notice for 5 or 10 years, but once it breaks through, you can't even believe. Like, once you look back in perspective, you can't even believe how far you came. Okay, so moving on. The next one is a lot of people do some kind of meditation. Now, Tim Ferriss, he recommends transcendental meditation. A lot of people will tell you to do the visualizations. I'm a big fan. I think the visualizations in the morning is a good way to set yourself up for accomplishment towards your goals. But in essence, all you're really doing, all this meditation is, to me, in essence, is when you meditate, whether it's transcendental, whether it's breathing, whether it's visualization, whether it's whatever, all you're doing is increasing your concentration, increasing your ability to concentrate on a certain focus. So if you're increasing your concentration and you're already building that muscle, and you do it within the first hour of waking up when your subconscious is impressionable, Tim Ferriss says that if he meditates for 20 minutes in the morning, he has upwards of 30 to 50% more productivity throughout the day. Because you're building that concentration, you're building that focus. So whatever you're doing, whether you're saying a mantra and your mind starts to wander and you bring it back, or you're focusing on the sensations of your breath, your mind wanders, you bring it back. You're focusing on your future, your visualizations, your mind wanders, you bring it back. All you're doing is increasing your concentration. With increased concentration comes increased focus, more pinpointed, more direct, more insightful, detailed, clear. And then with all of that, your perception increases. It's an increased perception in what needs to happen, you're more attuned to the feelings in your gut and heart and soul that are going to propel you in the direction that you need to go, because you've already laid it out. You've already increased your focus and your perception and where you want to be at that point. And I think that's a great thing, even if you're not doing it in the morning. I mean, just that's something successful people do. I don't personally always meditate in the morning. I already feel like I'm already meditating enough trying to wake up sometimes. So if you feel me on that, it's still good to just do throughout the day. And I do notice it. If I go and meditate before I work out, I can see the amount of focus. It's not even necessarily that I have more energy through the workout, but I have more focus, which activates more muscle fibers and drives more energy, because the more you focus, the more energy you put towards a muscle group or idea or whatever. So that's number 4. Number 5 is stretch, yoga, flexibility, whatever you got to do. There's a certain amount of stiffness when I wake up in the morning. I don't know about you, but I feel like 90% of the world can probably agree to this, that you're kind of stiff when you wake up. Your back, your neck, you're kind of just not, warmed up. A lot of successful people either, work out, run, do yoga, flexibility, stretch. Just even if you just, close your eyes, take your breath in, and like roll your neck around, and just feel your body, kind of just move your joints, because when you go to sleep, all the synovial fluid in your joints comes to a settling, and at where gravity is at the lowest point. So when you wake up, just by doing these movements and getting the synovial fluid moving through your body, you're also pushing blood, you're pushing oxygen, you're breathing in and focusing on your breath, you're activating the brain. It's just waking you up. It's a good way to wake up. It's a good way to make it so that you're not going through the day like, ooh, like this, until you get to your workout and you kind of loosen up a little bit. It's a good thing to start trying to do that in the morning. It'll make you feel better. And yesterday, or not yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday, we talked about optimizing the body, and you don't want to carry that attention around with you all day. So the more that you optimize the body in the morning, the more energy you'll be able to have throughout the day. All right, my dogs are running away, so I have to go. I'll see you guys later. Peace. All right, so I just rounded up the dogs from inside real quick. That was all of them. That was all of the tips for you this morning to use tomorrow morning to get out of bed, get motivated to get your day started. All that great stuff. Optimize your body. Don't keep tension in it. Do that stretching, loosen up a little. I feel like I could use some myself right now. And yeah. So Motivation Monday, Max Fisher, Better Universe, your mind, body, spirit connection. Keep killing it, guys. I'll see you on Workout Wednesday. Later. Peace.